No, he still has nothing. I can hear myself.
I hear stuff now.
Yeah, I got nothing.
If you want me or him to run off of nothing, because I can tell you my hearing's probably worse.
Can you hear me?
Jordan, I can hear you.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me?
No, I hear nothing.
What if I talk like this?
Still not really.
Get up in your ear.
Jordan?
Hi, my name is Jordan Malupka.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm sorry, Devin.
Yeah, I got nothing. So 21.
I've got all flare. Okay, we need to get going. Are we both being able to be heard through the thing? Through that? Hey, we need to get going.
Hello and welcome to Francis Howell North. My name is Evan Anderson, and I'm joined alongside Jordan Malevchuk to bring you tonight's varsity girls basketball as this game is underway. Jordan, what are the Knights going to need to do here to win this game?
The Knights are really going to have to spread out this 3-2 defense as we're seeing down here by St. Charles. They're playing a 3-2 defense. It's going to be important for the North Knights to shoot their shot, and when they can't find their shot, they need to make sure that they're going to spread them out. They're going to have to pass it back out to the three-point arc and keep moving it around.
All right, as Brooke Schneider is taking the ball down court, and it looks like they're going with a strong offense, like you mentioned earlier, Jordan, to start this game, as Gabby Delarue ends up with that ball. And it looks like her sister, Isabel Delarue, passes it back to Gabby, and just a bit wide for Gabby Delarue to start off the game. Great block by Isabel Delarue.
Delarue stayed with that play all the way to the far coast. She ran down with Booker, and that was a great play by her on the awareness, and you see the crowd starting to get into it now.
The Goonies are getting into the game already, and the game is just underway. 4-3, just a bit wide. Rebound collected by Maddie Stock. Passes it to Stevenson.
That
back to Delarue. Passes it to her sister. Gabby passes it back to Isabel Delarue. Looking for somebody. Found Stevens, but just a bit short. As St. Charles is going back with the ball. Schneider to her teammate Maggie Skeen. And that one is just short.
It looks like there's a little bit of a miscommunication there on the defensive side of the ball, as number 11, Maggie Skeen, was wide open, but they found the person down low.
Brooke Schneider gets the first points on the board for St. Charles, as Gabby Delarue now has the ball. Passes it. Finds her teammate just a bit wide.
North playing some aggressive defense already. Corinne Stevens with 2 straight slaps out of the Pirates' hands. The Pirates not able to really go anywhere if the North Knights are going to be able to keep up this aggressive an attack.
The Knights are applying pressure on offense, or on defense, against the Pirates, and it looks like it's paying off, as it is still tied 2-2.
I was talking with Coach Dawn Hahn earlier this morning for the varsity team, and she was talking about how this is going to be a hard-fought game. They're going to fight for everything. All the players know what it means, and they all want to show that they have points per game this year. Even though it's just through 2 games, that's a huge change from last year. Up 5 points, and that could have won them 4 extra games last year if they would have had them.
Foul called on Isabel Delarue. Number 1, Brenna Howell, to take 2, misses her first shot. Hollowell for her second. Makes that one to make it only a 1-point game. as Stock is looking for
your sibling, as you guys have been playing together your whole lives. You've been practicing even when
Emma Booker, the St. Charles Pirates top scorer, just made it to make it a 5-4 game. Corinne Stevens to Stock. Across court to Gabby Delarue.
It's a long pass there, but she saw the open man and she saw that there wasn't too much danger with it, and she took the risk. Sadly, it didn't pay off in points, but it did pay off in a quick change. It could have opened up some holes.
Great defense, but that is out of bounds.
That's a great play there by Maddie Stock. It's a great read. Mrs. Hahn was talking about how she is an absolute general on this team. She is the coach's mouth on the court for this team, and that's a big deal to have a player like that because it just makes the coach's job even easier.
And that is Stevens up for the rebound to Isabel Delarue. Back to Stevens. To Maddie Stock. Isabel Delarue 4-3. Just barely misses it. And that's unfortunate because that was in and out by Isabel Delarue, which would have given the Knights a 2-point lead.
Those shots are always demoralizing to see, but the real important thing is that you're going to pick yourself up after that, and you're going to come back from it, and you're going to make that shot the next time, and that's what you got to be thinking in your head.
As Emma Booker is trying to get her offense going, as that is going to be a foul on the Knights. Brianna Hollowell is back at the line again. Makes her first one. Hollowell to take her second shot. Is perfect there, 2 for 2, and there's going to be our first substitution of the game. Number 1, Brenna Holloway, for number 23, J.J. Summerfield. Inbounded by Stevens to Stock. Jordan, as the Knights are taking the ball down court, what is the tempo going to be like here for both teams?
Well, the North Knights are going to look to spread out the 3-2 defense that is being run by the Pirates. That's going to be a big deal for them to get some of those key shots that they're looking for. And that's not going to necessarily come with just running down, sprinting through, and having a blitz going on every time and a quick offensive movement. It's going to take time, and it's going to take the setups, and it's going to force some mess-ups, and it's going to make a hole for the North Knights to score there.
And it is going to be Hal Norris' ball, as there was some communication by the Pirates as Stevens passes it into Stock. Stock to Isabel Delarue. Delarue to Stevenson. Stevenson up and just short.
This ball will be taken out by Emma Booker.
Gabby Delarue called for that foul right there. Right out of the gate, the Knights are playing strong defense. His ball was just a bit short, but some miscommunications by Corinne Stevens, and St. Charles has the ball right back.
That would be a shooting foul down low.
First one is missed for the Pirates. All right, Jordan.
Called here by North, and it's going to be a key one here. They're down 7-4 here late in the first quarter, 1 minute 44 seconds to go, and they're down 7-4. This game is looking like it's going to be a pretty low and scrappy game here, just as they were promised. And it's going to be fight for every tooth and nail for every point for the North Knights.
The Knights, even though it is the first quarter, they have been playing tough on defense. The fouls are high, but that just shows you how determined they are to stop the St. Charles Pirates from scoring.
Well, they're forcing them to take shots that they're not used to taking, and that's going to be huge. The Pirates are not a great three-point team. They don't have anybody over 1/3 shots made from the three-point arc.
And those 2 points made as Stock is taking the ball down court. Stock to Stevens. Stevens to Isabel Delarue. To Maddie Stock. To Stevens. Stevens just off the rim. But great rebound by Peyton Stevenson. That one's also short.
Looks like they're calling out of bounds there on St. Charles as Maddie Stock's going to pass it in.
Emma Booker was called for holding there. As Stevens misses that shot. And it is going to be Knights ball as Maddie Stock is going to inbound the ball. And that is a great steal by number 23, J.J. Summerfield. But blocked by Isabel Delarue. Great defense by Isabel Delarue to make sure that the Pirates did not score there.
And there's some of that great defense, and now you're seeing the team starting to get into it. That's another great thing about this team is that bench is a lively one, and they are going to back up their team no matter what, as well as the Goonies over there, as you saw them get real excited after that one. Even members of the team, not just on the bench, but on the court too.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame show, the Goonies are packed here. Student section is packed, and they're really bringing it tonight for the home opener here at Francis Howell North.
A shot from the corner by Maddie Stock, bringing up 3 points for the North Knights. That's Corinne Stevens cut for Rebecca Brissett, who's going to be a huge person off the bench tonight. Her and Mackenzie Pugh, who I'm sure we'll see a good amount of tonight, are going to be some big forces off of that bench, and it's a deep one for the North Knights. That one called out of bounds against St. Charles.
As Stock passes it to Isabel Delarue. Delarue to her sister Gabby Delarue. Isabel Delarue back to Gabby Delarue.
Gabby Delarue going to go to the free throw line here. That's a big specialty for you. For her fouls. She is called for a technical there.
As Chanel Davis is going to the line for two. Makes it. Maggie Skeen coming in for Brenna Hollowell. Stevens in to Becca Brissett, who passes it to Mackenzie Pugh. And some miscommunication over there, and that is going to be a Pirates ball.
The Knights are going to have to limit these miscommunications. There's been a couple on the offense when getting their rebounds and not necessarily taking it where they need to be and not just talking to each other down the offensive zone, which can really hinder this game.
Booker passes it to her sister Abby, which misses it, and Chanel Davis gets the rebound and shoots it but misses it. Back to Abby Booker, who passes it to her sister Emma Booker.
Becca Brissett playing a really aggressive 1v1 defense there, and that's what she's known for on this team.
As the Knights get the ball back, the student section here at North is getting loud. This is Delarue has the ball. Passes it to Mackenzie Pugh. To Stevenson. That looks to be a foul on the Pirates.
Gabby Delarue going to come in for Becca Brissett.
Brooke Schneider called for that foul.
Risky move there, going right over 4 defenders from Pirates to get it to Gabby Delarue, just not able to put it in.
And that's number 5, Brooke Schneider, just missed it and rebounded by Isabel Delarue, who passes it to her sister Gabby Delarue, who is going down court. And that's going to be a foul called on Brooke Schneider, and that's going to send Gabby Delarue to the line. Gabby misses her first shot.
Some aggressive defense right there, but just didn't quite pay off. But you could see that number 11, Maggie Steen, was a little flustered there.
Gabby Delarue is already at her 3rd foul of the game.
Peyton Stevenson going to come in for Delarue here as she's already got her 3rd technical foul of the game. Do anything with it.
Hallowell didn't see the line there, and as she rebounded the ball, she stepped on the line, so that's going to be out by the Pirates and taken up court by Mackenzie Pugh.
Mackenzie Pugh has a great reading eye on this team. She can find the open man, and she can make things happen. As St. Charles is going to be called for another foul.
St. Charles foul number 11, Maggie Steen. Her first, team foul number 6.
Brissett to Pugh. To Isabel Delarue. Trying to get something going on offense. Passes it to Stevens. And it's going to be Knight's ball is number 14. Brissett inbounds the ball to Isabel Delarue.
Knights do retain the ball here.
The Knights putting a lot of pressure here on the Pirates lately. Summerfield's second shot is missed. And that's Stevenson to Brissett. Brissett to Isabel Delarue. Delarue to Pugh. Pugh back to Delarue. And Isabel Delarue almost made that.
Looks like that is an injury to number 20, Chloe Stewart. It looks like she was grabbing for her mouth. I think Delarue may have hit her with her elbow as she's going to wave off her coach saying she's good, but then having to come out. And they lose it due to conditioning, and that's something that the North Knights need to make sure that they're holding on to. They're only down by 2 here, and it's going to be a big deal if they can come back in this. It's not a huge deficit, as you said, but they need to make sure they come over that mental deficit that they have right now as they had to battle back there at the second half. and they need to bring out that fire when we begin again. Halftime show is going to be coming to you from the varsity cheerleaders and our varsity nightline. I hope you enjoy, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to this broadcast here from Francis Howe North Gymnasium here as the Francis Howe North Lady Knights varsity basketball team is taking on the St. Charles High School Pirates here in a good match. It's 23-21 coming out of halftime with the Pirates in the lead. But talking about something that's a little bigger than basketball here tonight, as there is a new fundraiser starting here with the basketball teams, both the boys varsity and the girls varsity's team. Those that are attending tonight's game were greeted tonight at the welcoming table as they were handing out packets about this new fundraiser that's going on. It's called Threes for Life. It's a cooperation between both the varsity girls basketball team and the boys basketball team. Basically how it is in the paperwork, a person who is attending the game will vouch for X amount of money for each three-pointer made by both teams here at home, and it only applies to home. So for each three-pointer made, that person will give that much of the pledge, and that is going to go to a cancer foundation, and that is going to be for every home game the North Knights season on both the girls and the guys teams. Also, we've been talking a little bit about the Goonies tonight, and the Goonies have been out here. They've been cheering on their team. They got really into it as Isabel Delrue was just lit on fire there at the end of the half, and they are out here in full teacher gear. Tonight is Teacher Appreciation Night. Before the game, all the varsity players were able to call a teacher up to the court, and they were able to say why they chose them. There's teachers such as Erin Manful, Mrs. Bartell, Mrs. Murray, Mrs. Keel. It was an absolute awesome sign from the team that appreciates their staff.
Jordan, as we get ready to start the second half, what has the tempo been like, especially in that last quarter of the game?
Well, the North Knights have been absolutely controlling that tempo as they've gone there. At the end, you saw Isabel Delrue by herself just make this game pick up. She made 8 points there in the last 3 minutes, and that was huge for the North Knights, as instead of this being a 23-13 game, it's 23-1. And they're going to come out hot here, as that's Corinne Stevens bringing it to a 23-23 with 7:43 left here in this half.
As number 11, Skeen has the ball, trying to find a teammate, but that is stolen by Corinne Stevens, who passes it to Maddie Stock, and that is going to be a foul on the play by the Pirates.
That foul going against Davis and sending Stock to the line.
Stock for two. First one is made.
Maddie Stock now 9 for 14 on the year at field goal percentage.
Stock with their second one is also made to make it a 25-23 game.
10 for 15, now sinking 2/3 of her free throws, as she's going to be improving that number throughout the season. As that's going to be a big play. Isabel Delrue with a breakaway down from coast to coast, and she's going to put that in for two, bringing the North Knights to a 4-point lead. Like I told you, Gavin, they are coming out with some fire here in this second half, and that's great, as that's going to be a big play by Maddie Stock, but she is going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, the Knights have just been battling back, especially with the last 4 to 5 minutes of this game, as number 11 Skeen passes it.
I'm loving the fiery play here in the second half, and they're doing some great stuff here, and they're going to force some stuff, and they're going to make St. Charles make bad plays. Pugh coming in for Stock here. Delrue's going to get that open ball. She's going to drive it. There's a 3-on-2. As Delrue's going to pull up and she's going to throw the jumper that she's going to miss.
As that is number 3, Emma Booker, who had the ball. As it looks like Booker is going to be called. Gabby Delarue to inbound the ball for the Knights. Passes it to Pugh. Pugh to Stevens. Stevens for three. Just a bit wide, but that's going to be rebounded by Gabby Delarue, who is going to sink it to make it 29-23.
Gabby Delarue, usually a defensive powerhouse, but she's shown some offensive work here tonight too.
Chanel Davis for two. That is the first points put up by the Pirates in the second half, as Gabby Delarue sinks that one. 4 consecutive points for Gabby Delarue. Kind of taken after her sister Isabel Delarue.
And that'll send Emma Booker to the free throw line.
Pugh called for that foul. As the first one from Booker is made. Her second attempt is a miss. And that is going to be a Pirates ball. Number 11 Skeen to inbound the ball. Finds Booker.
North Knights here with a 5-point lead, 31-26. Here with 6:03 left in this quarter. North Knights in these last 2 minutes have just come out. They've been an absolute powerhouse. They've been outscoring their opponent 8-3.
Skeen looking for one of her teammates. Finds Schneider. Schneider looking for somebody open. Passes it to Skeen. And that ball by number 1, Hollowell, was just airmailed a little bit.
Corinne Stevens trying to call for the open ball there, but it's not seen, as this is going to be a big defensive play for Isabel Delarue. And she's going to make sure that they don't get the points there.
Just that added pressure is enough to make the Pirates miss. As it is 31-26 Knights with 5 minutes and 26 seconds left of the third quarter.
Stevenson called for a personal foul there, as St. Charles is going to keep the ball. Davis hitting it back in. Stevens on the far side, passing it back to Delarue. That's a good IQ play, but Delarue just not able to keep up with the ball, as this one's going to go back to St. Charles, who's going to bring it back into the north zone.
Schneider to Hollowell. To Emma Booker.
Emma Booker sent back to the free throw line. This is something that the North Knights can't be doing. They can't be giving up these free fouls. They've slowed down a little bit here in this past minute, which they don't want to do. That's what happened back in the Fort Zumwalt North game, is they got a comfortable lead, and they were dominant throughout most of the game, and then they started letting up and playing very conservative, which is sometimes good, and not worrying too much about offensive points, but keeping it out of your own bucket. But they also need to make sure that they're scoring some points, keeping the score competitive.
As Hollowell was left wide open but unable to capitalize, and Stevens now taking it down court, passes it to Isabel Delarue. Isabel Delarue trying to find somebody open, finds her sister Gabby Delarue, which is then passed back to Isabel Delarue to get the Knights back on the board. Jordan, how has the tempo looked like in this last 2 minutes?
Well, it seemed to slow down after about that 2-minute mark into the quarter, and then it's starting to pick up a little bit again. They got a little sloppy there, and it just kind of took it out. There was a lot of whistles going on, and the North Knights just need to make sure that they're going to be playing some clean ball that's not letting the refs choose how this game's going to look.
That's going to be inbounded by Stevens. Stevens to Pugh.
The North Knights now up 33-27 with 4 minutes and 7 seconds left in this third quarter as Delarue is going to pass it to her sister and back to her sister.
Gabby Delarue from inside the three-point mark, and that's going to be good for 2.
The Delarue sisters have been playing some solid ball tonight as they've been a defensive presence and an offensive force.
As the ball was rebounded by Stevens, Delarue has the ball. Isabel Delarue passes it to her sister, Gabby Delarue. And a little bit of a rocket there by Gabby Delarue to her teammate Peyton Stevenson, and that's going to be out of bounds on the Knights.
The North looking to try to cure their second half bug, and it's looking like they're doing pretty well at it right now as we hit the 3:20 mark here in the third. But they need to make sure that they're going to be able to keep up this attack and all of this consistently good offensive play along with good defensive play even through the fourth, as that's been their downfall for the past 2 seasons.
That pass by J.J. Summerfield overthrown, and that's going to be now the North ball. And St. Charles is going to be taking a timeout. Jordan, with the Pirates taking that timeout, how is that going to help the Knights here?
Well, it's going to give them a quick break here as they've been playing some really hard, really quick play, and that's going to be a big thing for the North Knights is they're going to start getting tired if they're playing like that, but they need to make sure that they're balancing that out. They've been a pretty good conditioning team. They just need to make sure that they're not going to let up. They're not going to let it in their head, and they're not going to let the Pirates back into this game.
Now, Jordan, we're going to flip it on the other side of the court here. What do you think the St. Charles Pirates coach is telling their players right now?
Well, they need to make sure that they're going to be staying out of foul trouble. They haven't been in too much since the half, but they need to make sure that they're going to stay out of it. They need to make sure that they're taking the ball away, that they're not letting North get into the zone too much, because that's where they're getting killed. Is they're, like we said earlier, they're spreading them out, and then they're finding those holes.
As we come out of the timeout break, Hal North leads it in the third quarter, 35-27 with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the quarter. And the Knights will be inbounding the ball.
North Knights need to keep feeding Isabel Delarue. She's been a force to be reckoned with all night, really turning it on there in that second quarter as she scored 8 points within the last 3 minutes.
Pugh with the ball to Isabel Delarue, who has been leading the charge tonight, along with her sister, Gabby Delarue. Isabel Delarue back to Pugh. It looks like the Knights are just going to chew out some clock as Pugh passes it to Gabby Delarue. To Stevenson, back to Stevenson. That's going to be a takeaway by number 1, Hollowell, who is going to pass it to her teammate, number 3, Emma Booker. Booker to Schneider. Schneider to Abby Booker, who misses the 3 and is going to be rebounded by Stevens. Isabel Delarue passes it to Gabby Delarue. Gabby Delarue just a bit short. The Goonies letting the ref know that they did not like the call, as it looked like Gabby Delarue is called for that.
Gabby just trying to go up for that rebound, but she commits the foul there, and that's going to send the Pirates to the line.
Jayla Teasley is going to see her first minutes of the game as she comes in for Gabby Delarue. As the first one by Summerfield is made.
North needs to make sure they're not going to be giving up these easy points on free throws.
Second one is missed. Isabel Delarue saves it, but that is going to be a foul on Peyton Stevenson to bring the Pirates back to the line.
This is when North is really going to be turning to their senior leaders like Peyton Stevenson, who are really good at keeping the team upbeat and motivated, and that's going to be a big thing coming for the North Knights.
As that one is made. And a bit of a surprise.
And a bit of a surprise here as Patty O'Leary is going to be coming in for Peyton Stevenson. She was not expected to be playing tonight. She was supposed to be out for another 2 weeks after fracturing her ankle over summer. So it is a true surprise to see her in this game. But she is going to be a force to be reckoned with. She is a 6'3", and not too many people can guard that.
It's kind of surprising to see Patty O'Leary in here. As we talked before the game started about her injury and not expecting her to play, but here she is hopping right into the action as Corinne Stevens has the ball. That pass is stolen. Isabel Delarue trying to make sure that it wasn't, that no points were scored, and it looks like it's going to be a foul against the Pirates.
Delarue coming out of that thinking that she was getting called for that, but then the relief of not being called is she thought there was no way she could be called for that, and hopefully the North Knights are going to get something out of this. As it looks like that is not going to count for the North Knights as there is a foul called.
Booker taking it downfield. Booker to her sister Abby Booker, back to her sister Emma. And that is number 1, Brenda Holloway, but that one is missed. And that is going to be a Knights ball.
Looks like Hahn's instructing Patty O'Leary to go deep down low. As you can see, the height difference between her and Davis is immense. She is going to be a power force down there, as not too many people are going to be able to guard such a tall player.
You're right, Jordan. As Teasley passes it to Patty O'Leary, and that is going to be a foul called.
And on cue there, Patty O'Leary using her size to her advantage, as she's going to just muscle around and draw that foul as she is going to be sent to the line.
Let's see if Patty can get on the board and watch the student section go crazy if she makes this one. And she makes the first free throw, and the Goonies are behind her for attempt number 2.
That one just off the front of the rim.
Almost intercepted by Teasley, but just short as Isabel Delarue gets that. She's going down court, and she's going to make it 38-30 with 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
That's a big play by Delarue, and she has shown time and time again she is a hot player on this team. She is absolutely dominant in this game.
As that is going to go out of bounds, just short by Brooke Schneider. The gym here at Francis Howell North is going crazy.
And this is what the girls were looking for tonight. When they heard that the Goonies were going to be here for them, they were absolutely ecstatic. Even better, the Goonies have been behind the team the whole night, even when they were behind, and they've been an absolute force the whole game.
As Stevens goes to Teasley. As Patty O'Leary looks for the ball and gets it to make it 40-30 with only 5 seconds left of the third quarter.
That's a big play by Patty, putting them up by 10 going into this fourth quarter so far. But there's going to be a great three-point shot by number 11, Maggie Steen, as this one is going to go into the fourth here at Francis Howell North at 40-33. What a great third quarter.
So, Jordan, what a great third quarter. A great way to start the second half. What has the tempo been like within the last couple minutes, especially with Patty O'Leary, who wasn't expected to play but comes in off the bench, has already scored 2 points? How has the Knights really have been affected by this?
Well, it's been absolutely amazing as Patty O'Leary, as you said, has come in unexpectedly. She was thought to be injured for another 2 weeks at least off of that ankle fracture, but she is back tonight and she has already been a force. She's coming in late in that third quarter and she just took over from there. She had some great plays down low, drew a foul, and just uses her size to her advantage, which is perfect. She's 6'3". She's very good at drawing that foul, and that's going to be an absolute great thing tonight as she looks to be taking the best and advantage of Davis down low.
As the Knights enter to the last 8 minutes of the game, up by 7, the Knights really look to capitalize and continue building on what they just finished last quarter. As Stevens will inbound the ball for the Knights to start the fourth quarter to Isabel Delarue.
North outscoring their opponent by almost 2 times as it was they outscored the Pirates 19-10 as Patty O'Leary again going to the foul line. This is the second time she's been there tonight. She hit one and missed one last time she was there.
Like you said, Jordan, the Knights are using Patty O'Leary's size to their advantage as that one is missed.
Even the Goonies go silent for a few moments as Patty O'Leary tries to focus for her free throw.
Her second attempt. She's 0 for 2 on that attempt, so not much comes from it, but the Knights are still putting pressure on the Pirates. As number 30, Amy Booker, passes it to her teammate, but that is blocked by Patty O'Leary, but some miscommunication down there, and Mackenzie Pugh steps out.
Absolutely great play there by Patty. The Pirates player didn't even know she was there, just turns into an absolute brick wall who just shuts her shot down. A great play, great read. Just unfortunate that Mackenzie Pugh got the ball just a little too late to where she stepped out of bounds, as they're going to sink that 3 and bring it to a 40-36.
Teasley to Patty O'Leary. Patty O'Leary going to make the attempt it, misses it, attempts it again, misses it, gets her own rebound, and that's going to be out of bounds on the Pirates.
Patty O'Leary again using her size to her advantage, not even making an illegal play, but number 11 off of just a simple bump just goes flying, as that's going to give North the ball as it hit her while she was out of bounds, as Patty O'Leary is going to put that in for another 2 points, putting the North Knights up 42-36. And I just can't believe it. This is probably the best debut that she could be asking for right now.
Jordan, it doesn't get any more exciting than this, especially as Patty O'Leary is a senior, so it is her last home opener.
Called for the technical foul there, and Stevens will be coming in for O'Leary as she's going to need a little bit of a rest because she has been absolutely on fire, getting approval from all the fans in the crowd right now as she has put in the work.
Amy Booker to the line.
Number 3, Emma Booker.
Number 23, JJ Summerfield comes in for Chloe Stewart. That one is missed and rebounded by number 20, Isabel Delarue, with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left.
North needs to make sure that they're going to keep applying pressure and that they need to make sure that they're keeping up their scoring as they're going to feed Isabel Delarue down low, who's going to put in a nice one for 2 points, bringing it to 44-36 with 6:30 left in this game. But they need to make sure that they're going to keep this scoring up. They don't want to get lackluster. They don't want to get content with what they have now. They've been averaging 49.5 points all season, and I almost guarantee they're going to want to be beating that. That one's going to go off of Isabel Delarue's foot.
Emma Booker to re-enter the game as number 1, Brianna Hollowell, will be inbounding the ball to number 5, Brooke Schneider. Schneider to Summerfield. Summerfield 4-3. Just misses it, but rebounds it by Chanel Davis.
Davis draws the foul there down low.
Foul number 2, Mackenzie Pugh. Her third, team foul number 10. At the line for the Pirates, number 33, Chanel Davis.
Jordan with 6 minutes and 7 seconds left. The Knights and the Goonies have been going crazy. Well, how has this tempo really been a positive effect for the Knights?
Well, it's just not let the Pirates get a rest. They've been absolutely on fire, going courtside to courtside, coast to coast, and it's just they're going at the speed that they're going, but they're also using accuracy. If you're going too fast to the point where you can't hit your shots, it doesn't matter. But in this case, North Knights are going fast and they're hitting their shots, which is a deadly combination, as Delarue is going to get robbed by the rim there, but she is going to go to the free throw line too. That would have been a nice free 2 points there to put a 10-point lead up, but she's going to get her chance here now.
The whole entire gym thought Isabel Delarue was going to get that, as her first one is made with ease to make it 45-36 with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left of the game.
Delarue the opportunity to put her team in a great spot here, as she's going to sink that one to 2 straight swishes there as the North Knights go up 46-36 here with 5:46 left in the game. And it's going to be a huge deficit for the Pirates to overcome, and I think the North Knights are going to definitely make sure that they make it even bigger.
And what a great play by number 23, J.J. Summerfield.
Timeout, St. Charles. 30-second timeout.
St. Charles taking that timeout. Both teams have entered this game with only one win, with St. Charles entering the game with a 1-3 record, and as like we mentioned earlier, Francis Howell has a 1-1 record, so no matter what, one team is going to get their second win of the game.
North Knights are looking to try and take a first winning record in over 2 years. Last year they finished with a 6-20 record, but they want to look to erase that and definitely make sure that they're going to end with a winning record this year. And that is one of the goals of the seniors, as they have not had a great season for at least 2 years when they went 13-12.
As the fourth quarter starts back up, the Knights are winning this game 46-38 with just under 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, as Stock has the ball. Stock to Stevenson, as that is going to be stolen by number 3, Emma Booker. To her sister, Amy Booker, 4-3 to make it a 41-46 game. Pass to Gabby Delarue. Gabby Delarue misses that shot.
Number 5, Gabby Delarue. Her fifth.
As Gabby Delarue commits her 5th foul and is fouled out this game. So number 14, Becca Brissett, is coming in, as number 3, Emma Booker, is going to go to the free throw line. Booker makes her first one to make it 42-46. Looking to make this one to make it a 3-point game. Misses it, and it's going to be a rebound by Stevenson.
St. Charles foul number 5, Brooke Schneider. Her fourth, team foul number 6.
And that is going to be a foul on the Pirates. The Pirates looking to stop the Knights' tempo. Isabel Delarue, who's been lights out all night, has the ball. Trying to take it to the paint, just misses.
Del has been a force all night, just not able to put that one quite in as it was really close.
As Isabel Del rebounds the ball, the Pirates are trying to make the game close with some three-pointers.
North Knights doing good at forcing that, as the Pirates are not a great three-pointer team. Knights up by 4, 46-42. Clock hitting 4 minutes.
Stock has the ball, passes it to Brissett. Brissett to Isabel Delarue.
North taking a slower tempo here as they're going to try and run out this clock. I think they're needing to look to put more points up, though, too, as they only have a 4-point lead now. They had a 10-point lead, and that's going to put them up by 6. Great shot there by Maddie Stock right next to the free throw line. Perfect place for her to take a shot. Nice open, and it was a great read by her.
Oh, miscommunication by the Pirates as number 3, Emma Booker, was looking for number 11, Maddie Skeen, but throws it out of bounds, and that's going to give the ball right back to the Knights.
It's now 3:34 left on the clock with the North Knights up 48-42. The North Knights are really going to try and pick up the pace here near the end, but also be making sure that they're going to sink those shots as they're going to play a little bit more conservative, and they're also going to try and force those mistakes like what we just saw, Emma Booker passing it into thin air, as they're going to try and get some points here, get another 8-point lead. That one's going to go to Becca Brissett underneath, and she is going to pick up the foul.
So as we're just halfway done with the fourth quarter and the end of the game, Jordan, how are the Knights going to use this last 3 minutes and 22 seconds to their advantage?
I think they're going to have some conservative play here. They're going to be more focused about on their defensive side, forcing them to make those irrational plays as they're going to keep building up this lead here as they are now up by 7. But I think they also need to make sure that they're going to be sinking their shots as well as playing hard on the defensive side.
As Brissett makes both of her shots to make it an 8-point game, 50-42 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of the game. Summerfield to Booker. Booker to Hollowell. Hollowell to Skeen. Skeen to Abby Booker. To number 1 Holloway, and that is going to be missed.
Davis is going to draw the foul there down near the paint as she's been on the free throw line all night.
And that is going to be the night for Maddie Stock, it looks like, with her 5th foul.
And for the Knights, number 3, Jayla Teasley.
Teasley will come in to replace Maddie Stock.
That's a key loss there as they are going to need their floor general, as Mrs. Hong calls Stock, as she is an absolute powerhouse on this team. She's not necessarily their greatest offensive or defensive threat, but she absolutely commands this team. She knows what she's doing, and she is able to make the calls that the team needs.
Number 10, Erin Booker, comes into the game for the Pirates. As that's going to be missed. And number 14, Becca Brissett, to inbound the ball.
North Knights up by 7, 50-43 for them, as they're going to surpass their points per game of this year, which was just 49.5, and they're going to raise that here tonight.
Brissett to Teasley. And that is going to be a penalty or a foul called on the Pirates. Hollowell called for that, and Brissett is going to go to the line again. She was a perfect 2 for 2 in her last opportunity. Unfortunately misses that one, and Skeen trying to drive it downfield, down court, but that's going to come up short and rebounded by Brissett to Isabel Delarue. The Pirates really trying to play fast tempo on offense, and that was a wide open opportunity for the Knights, but just goes through the hands of the Knights.
You can see the frustration there on Peyton Stevenson's face. That's not a usual mistake for her to make. It was a wide open shot, and I believe she would have gotten 2 points out of it, which would have put North in a nice position of being up by 9, but they are still only up by 7.
Schneider down court. Schneider to Summerfield. Summerfield back to Schneider. Back to Summerfield, and is just going to overshoot that one, and rebounded by Isabel Delarue. Delarue quickly getting down court, and they're just going to pass the ball around.
St. Charles foul number 3, Emma Booker, her 4th, team foul number 9.
Going to send the red hot Isabel Delarue to the line. And makes her first one to make it 51-43 with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. Second shot is made.
She has absolutely put this team on her back tonight.
As it's only a 9-point game, but they are now under 2 minutes as Hollow has the ball, passes it to Summerfield, who passes it to Schneider, back to Booker, and rebounded by Chanel Davis. And that's going to be a traveling call against the Pirates, which is going to give the Knights the ball back.
Pirates now going to play some really aggressive defense, playing up court press here, as the clock now drains down to 1:30, and North seems to be comfortable with the lead they have, and they're just going to play with what they got as they're up by 9 here, as Teasley is going to look at it but decide not to take a shot.
Jordan, like you mentioned before the game started, the Knights were really going to test the Pirates here on defense, and it looks like it's paid off so far.
Yes, it has. They've forced the Pirates to take shots that they don't want to and shots that they haven't been making, and that's been a key here in the second half as the North Knights have taken absolute control. They've scored 31 points as opposed to the 20 by the Pirates.
As Schneider for her first shot makes the first one to make it 44-52.
And for the Pirates, number 10, Aaron Booker, number 11, Maggie Skeen.
Mackenzie Pugh comes in for Payne Stevenson.
Schneider's going to sink that one and bring this to just a 7-point game.
As that one is tipped by the Pirates, and the Knights are going to draw another foul.
North needs to make sure that they're going to keep out of foul trouble here. And that looks to be a timeout.
Timeout, Hal North, 30-second timeout.
Hal North calling a timeout. Jordan, what do you think Hahn is telling his or her players right now?
Well, they've had a little bit of foul trouble here in just the last couple of seconds, and that's just something they can't have. They're only up by 7. It's not a huge lead, and especially if they're giving away free points on free throws, it's definitely manageable for the Pirates to come back. But the North Knights want to keep them away from doing that, and that's just going to be something that they need to control. That's one of the controllables that Mrs. Hahn has talked about with the team is rebounds and penalties. They need to make sure that they're not getting called.
And as this timeout is winding down, once again, my name is Gavin Anderson, joined alongside Jordan Malovchek on the Girls Varsity Girls Varsity Home Opener here on FHNtoday.com/live. As the Knights are coming out of the timeout, leading the game 52-45 with 1 minute and 19 seconds left to play. As Schneider is at the line for the Pirates. The first one is made by Schneider.
St. Charles has done a good job of making these late free throws, bringing this game just inches into their hands. As that's going to make it just a 5-point game, 52-47. North needs to make sure, as they are going to bounce that one just out of bounds. And this is some lapses by the North Knights. They need to make sure that they're securing this up because they're letting this one slip away from them right now. And they're letting St. Charles back into this, which is very dangerous.
Chanel Davis is going to inbound the ball. Summerfield has the ball. Back to Schneider, back to Hollowell. And that one's going to be missed and picked up by the Knights, number 14, Becca Brissett. And as the game is reaching just under a minute, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Jordan, the Knights are trying to end a losing streak against St. Charles High, where they lost 7 consecutive games against the Pirates.
I said before the game, if there's a team to do it, I think it's going to be this team that is going to beat it, as it looks like FHN is going to call a timeout here.
Last time the Knights have beaten the Pirates was in the 09-10 season, which they are 48 seconds away if the Knights can hold on of ending it.
North has their fate here in their hands as they are up 52-47 with just 48.2 seconds left. They can do it, and this can be their chance to break the 7-game losing streak to St. Charles. Hannah Wilson from the huddle down there. She is injured, but she was one of their leading scorers last year. And even from the bench, she has been a huge force tonight, absolutely pumping up this team. She lost her voice in her first 2 games of the year, just screaming out of pure enthusiasm for the team. And I'm sure she has lost it here tonight. She's telling them to let's finish this game, and that would be an absolute sight to see as this game has been close throughout.
As the Knights are getting ready to inbound the ball. As that is going to go to the Pirates.
Pirates are consistently making substitutions here, putting their better offensive players in, and North is needing to make a stop on them.
As that is number 5, Brooke Schneider down court. Schneider to Booker. Booker to her sister Amy Booker. Back to Emma Booker. And that's going to be a 3 by number 23, JJ Summerfield, to make it 50-52 here with just 29 seconds left.
The Knights need to make sure that on this upcoming drive they need to get points. Whether it's 2 or 3 or even drawing the foul and getting a couple extra, it's going to be an absolute crucial. This could define what's going to happen the rest of this game, as we are just under 30 seconds left. And this has got to be, it's game time. This is where the experience comes in. Mrs. Hahn said that they have had some great experience. This team is really good together. They know how to communicate. They know how to react in these situations. It's just putting it on the floor without making a mistake.
As the game is coming down to the wire, a real nail-biter here at Francis Howell North, as it's only a 2-point game with just 29 seconds left.
North is going to be looking to feed Isabel Delarue here. She's been absolutely on fire all night and all season. She has been one of the best players on this team, especially tonight. A huge offensive force there near the end of the half, and then again in the third. It's been absolutely amazing to watch her all night. And they're definitely going to be looking to feed her. She is their clutch shooter as well. She can make her shot, especially when it's going to count most.
As Isabel Delarue is going to inbound the ball. The Pirates are going to put everybody on one person, so it's just going to be a one-on-one, man-to-man defense on this inbound.
This is where North can really benefit from this on this 1v1. They're a very quick team, and they are going to put their best out here in this last 30 seconds. They need to make sure that they're going to take up as much as time as they can off of this clock, but they also need to make sure that they're going to put the ball in the basket. Clock put back to 30 seconds flat.
It looks like there's some miscommunication down on the court.
Officials waiting on the clock to be fixed. It looks like they're going to go back to just a little bit above as they're going to raise it by another 0.1 as it's going to be 30.1 seconds left on the clock. May not seem much, but it can be an absolute game changer as Delrue is going to look for Brissett there on the open pass. He's going to put it back to Delrue, and she's going to have to fight to get up court as Booker is playing some hard defense on her as they're at 20 seconds left as Delrue is going to pass it out to Pugh. Pugh looking for the open man, back out to Delrue to the corner, and there's going to be a foul, and Pugh is going to get 2 shots here.
Jordan, what an intense last couple seconds as it looks like Mackenzie Pugh is going to go to the line to see if she can put the game away.
Goonies starting to get up on their feet. They are ready to see this North Knights team win and go and prove to a 2-1 record, and this will be huge for this team.
You can expect the student section here, the Goonies, to go absolutely crazy if the Knights can pull this off. As like we said, Mackenzie Pugh is going to go to the line.
Pugh's first shot is up, and it is good. It's perfect shot. Bringing it to 53-50 with just 14 seconds left. That one misses. It's a 3-point game now. The St. Charles Pirates going as fast as possible as North is going to knock that one out of bounds, stopping any kind of attack here as there's now 10.2 seconds left.
Timeout, St. Charles.
Timeout there by St. Charles. And Gavin, what a game we have seen here in the last couple of minutes. North Knights have let it slip away a little bit, which got them into this situation, but they also got to look back, and they've played some pretty good basketball tonight. They've had some hot play by Isabel Delrue and Patty O'Leary when she came in.
Yeah, Jordan, this has been a really intense game from the time it started to right now. Probably the best basketball game I have seen so far in my 3.5 years here at North.
The Goonies, all of them up on their feet now, up in the stands, getting ready to celebrate with this team.
Get ready for Hal North and the gymnasium to go absolutely crazy.
North, though, not quite out of the brush yet. We don't want to celebrate a little too early as they're up 53-50 with just 10 seconds left. They need to make sure that even though they are up, and that's a big deal, that they're going to force bad shots. The Pirates need a 3 here. If they only get a 2, they're going to have to foul when they inbound it and then get lucky with missed shots by the North Knights, which doesn't happen too often at the free throw line. This is going to be a very important inbound, and what happens or what follows is going to determine what is going to happen the rest of this game and if the North Knights are going to take this home, as this one's going to go into number 5, Schneider. Schneider's going to run it up the court with just 5 seconds left. She's going to take it out to the far side, and it's going to go up. That's going to be a miss, and that's going to be the game. The North Knights taking this one.
What an unbelievable game here at Hal North, Jordan Malupchuk. I tell you what, the Hal North Knights win this game by 3 of a final score of 53-50.
North Knights absolutely coming out in that second half and crushing it. They deserve to win this game. They outscored their opponent in the second half, 32-21. It's been an absolute madhouse of a game. Great all around, great defense, great offense by the North Knights as they're going to win this one, and it's an important one too.
So, Gordon, with such a great game, who do you think the player of the game is? You could pretty much give it to the whole Knights team, but if you had to limit down to one player, who is the player of the game tonight for the North Knights?
That's going to be a hard question to answer, Gavin. If she was in longer, I would feel that I needed to go with Patty, but she was not in too long. She is in there for the end of the third, but she didn't come back in the fourth, which was a shame to see. But she is coming off of that ankle injury, and I'm sure they don't want to re-aggravate that. But I will have to get this one to Isabel Del Rue. She played absolutely amazing. She led a late offensive attack there with 8 points there in just the last 3 minutes. And she led this team to leaving here happy tonight. It's been absolutely amazing to watch. She played. She put it on her back again. And the North Knights team come out with the win here, 53-50. Well, my name is Jordan Lovechek, along with Gavin Anderson, and along with our live stream team tonight of Phoebe Primo, Sarah Williams, and Paige Westerman. We thank you all for joining us tonight. Please go back and watch our Facebook Live before the game. It will be posted on FHNtoday, and it's still on our Facebook group. If you guys like this stream and would like to tune into another, our next stream is on December 18th. It's a boys basketball varsity game. Dylan Lauer and Hannah Wilson will be announcing that one. Please go check them out. They're a great group, and we thank you guys for coming out tonight. So from Jordan Lovechek and Gavin Anderson, thank you guys for coming out, and most importantly, until next time, take care of yourselves.